Morning, everybody. How we doing? Sammy, United People's TV, 30 minutes earlier than usual. I appreciate everyone tuning in, but I've got somewhere to be, so we can crash through. I don't know. We'll speed through this show. We'll speak about Manchester United walking away from a deal from Manuel Ugarte. And I'll be honest, I think pretty much every United fan will agree in unison that that is the right thing to do if the price is not right. I'm going to speak about that, speak about the article from David Ornstein, but also speak about Sander Berge. Laurie Whitwell saying that Man United have explored opening talks with him, maybe as an alternative. And we'll also speak about other options in that midfield. I've already got a video recorded, which I did last night, by the way. I ran through 6 different options that we could be looking at in terms of the midfield position if it's not Ugarte. Sander Berge wasn't on my list, let's be honest. But I'll run through and discuss that. The latest on Wan-Bissaka's move to West Ham, Lenny Yoro's surgery, Snapdragon being interested in if Old Trafford gets a renaming. They'd be interested in that. Players returning to Carrington yesterday. And yeah, there's going to be more of an in-depth discussion around the midfield signing. I think that's going to be where the majority of the conversation is today. As I said, thank you all for tuning in a little bit early. Got somewhere to be. Who's here from the Mod Gang? Let's have a quick look. Carl, good morning to you. Josh, I saw you there as well earlier. T, I think I saw you start the show too. I did. Good morning to the members. We've got Vin, we've got James, Thomas Gibbons, St. Cuba, we've got Stevie Power, Andrew, and on Facebook we've got Mark Kennedy, Matt Frost, you are here, I can see you, John, Kalondwa, and we've got Mac and Musa. Good morning to all of you. I hope you're all having a cracking day. Nuruddin, man, how are you? The man who's helped make this channel really kind of grow. I love this community, man. I really love doing this show. It's taken up a lot of my mental space right now, especially this summer. There is a lot going on. There is a lot of plates being juggled, but it's definitely worth it for the community that we've built here. And Nuruddin's legendary. Gifting 50 memberships, man. All of you, please come into Discord. We gave away this poster on Discord last week. Going to be doing lots more giveaways on there. Lots more unique. One second there. Unique stuff for the Discord. Let me drop the link to it here, and then we can get into the start of the show. Because it's going to be a busy one. It always is a busy one. It is the summer transfer window. But Nuruddin, thank you so much, man. Let's bring out Gary. Let's bring out a Gary. Feels about right.
Oh, shit!
That's a cracking start to the show. Anybody who has issues joining Discord, mods and members, can you please help them? Because I won't be able to do it during the show. Anyway, let's start this. A little bit of news around football. But City are getting 82 million for Julian Alvarez. 82 million. I mean, my word. How strong is Man City's power of negotiation? I mean, the strength of their position to negotiate, and they've been the dominant team over the last 6-7 years, it puts you in a good position. But I think they paid 14 million for Alvarez, thereabouts. Been there for a couple of years. 82 million. Jeez. And I swear Atletico Madrid don't really make major signings like that. Not on that level. Well, not that many of them. Whoa. That is an insane sale. And again, this is something that City have done very well, right? For all their cheating, clearly. City have had the ability to sell players that could definitely still stay in their squad and be a good player for them, but sell them on and replace them, and the quality of the squad hasn't gone down. Like when Mahrez left or when Sterling left, the City squad didn't get worse. It stayed pretty much level, or even sometimes it even got better. And Alvarez going for 82 million is an incredible sale for their club, but no doubt they'll be fine. That's mad. I didn't really think Atletico Madrid had that sort of money. 82 mil. That is nuts. Estevo, nice to see you there, dude. Anyway, yeah, good luck, Man United, getting anywhere near that. Ooh. Remember when Ralph Radnick, he wanted Julian Alvarez? Anyway, let's move on. Right, yesterday, I did my video. It was more of an opinion video rather than I don't know. I don't particularly do videos that are just purely opinion. That one was. And it was a video where I was just basically saying, I'm worried, man. I'm worried because of how much more Manchester United have to do in August. And I spoke about the signings and sales that are still both required. I spoke about the broken preseason and, you know, all the players who weren't in preseason. I spoke about the injuries. And it's just, I think there's a fair amount of reasons why even a reasonable United fan is worried about what we've still got to do. Now, I've got a lot more belief that the football structure that we have in place now will get more done in August than John Murtough or the Glazers ever could. But there is still a lot to do. And a big part of that is in midfield. Not only with ideally Casemiro being moved on, but United bringing in a new midfielder. And then we've got the main story for today. Let's get into it. David Ornstein last night confirming that Manchester United are switching their search away from Manuel Ugarte because we do not want to pay the, quite frankly, outrageous €60 million fee that PSG want. Of course, that's what PSG paid Sporting Lisbon for Ugarte last year, and I've said this a few times before. Has Ugarte's stock as a player increased? Is he a better player now than when PSG signed him? You would probably argue the opposite. He's actually gone down a little bit, his stock and his, we'll call it reputation if you want that. Anyway, United are moving away from him. I'm going to read through the article from David Ornstein, and then we can have a discussion in the comments around this, because I think it's a very good thing. Although, at the same time, there's going to be fans that are angry, and I'll explain. Right, United are switching their move away. Man United are switching the focus of their search to signing a midfielder away from Ugarte. They wanted 60 million. We said, hell no. The clubs are quite far apart in their respective valuations, and only if they reduce their request is it possible that we come back. And this is the big thing, right? You could highlight this 3 or 4 times. The view at United is that they are only willing to pay what they deem to be the correct fee for each transfer target, and negotiations will not be allowed to drag on until the end of the market. Now, Ugarte. And I could have a picture of Jared Branthwaite there. If there was one thing, I've just said this on Twitter, and I will absolutely stand by what I said there. If there was one thing that I wanted Manchester United to fix this summer, it was our club being taken for mugs in negotiations. And there's still some way to go to fix that. And that goes both with signings and with sales. The United tax that we called it before. I mean, it was a real thing. Because why not? If you were a club and United come knocking, you'd be like, add a few mil on. Go on, take the piss. Because they could. Every club could. And if I was a club selling to Manchester United, I would have done the exact same. I would have taken the piss out of United. And as I said, if there's one thing I wanted us to fix this summer, it was us being more firm in transfers. Jared Branthwaite, we've gone in with 50 mil. We want 70 mil. All right, never mind. See you later. We're moving on. Ugarte. We want him. We're probably going to offer somewhere in the region of 30 to 40 million euros. Although we actually have no idea. I don't think United ever put a bid in for Ugarte. I think it was all verbal. Now we want 60 million. All right, cool. See you later. We're moving on. Now, if I was to have one criticism of it, it would probably be that we didn't reach this position maybe a week or even potentially 2 weeks ago. And I think that comes for the fact that Dan Ashworth didn't even start until the 1st of July. Berge didn't start until the 13th of July. We didn't even have our actual executives in place before this. This will not be an issue next summer. I want to see United having the ability and the resolve to do this and to walk away from transfers and actually have alternatives lined up. Simo, you're saying, don't you think it's a bit late to walk away from the deal? And that's what I said there. In an ideal situation, we would have reached this point in the conversation probably a couple of weeks ago. And that would be my only criticism. But I'm certainly not going to criticise United walking away from an Ugarte deal if PSG are just taking the piss. 60 million euros. However, that might mean, and I'll speak about somebody in between, that might mean that United are going to look at alternatives that might be more, you know what I'm going to call? I'm going to call this like mid-range. And this is what let me pull up a tweet I just said earlier, right? This is what it kind of feels like is happening with Manchester United's, well, it feels like it anyway, in midfield in terms of signings, right? It feels like our big money this summer has gone to... Our big money this summer has gone to centre-backs, all right? Yoro will be the most expensive signing we make this summer. I said I'd be amazed if we signed any player over 50 million. He was 52 million. It's not going to get any higher than that. So majority of the money went on to Lenny Yoro, and Matthijs de Ligt is going to be another big signing. It feels like United could well be looking at somebody like Sander Berge. Amrabat might come into the conversation again. And I've got a lunchtime video going out where I discuss 6 potential alternatives. 3 names which we have already discussed and 3 names which we haven't really discussed. And I'll be honest, Sander Berge wasn't on those 6. But that's going out at lunchtime today. There's going to be a lot of fans that want United to pivot and look towards Zubimendi, right? If you're comparing Ugarte and Zubimendi, 2 very different types of deeper lying number 6s. Ugarte is that sort of tenacious tackler. That guy who will chase someone down, who will press intensely, very good and secure with the ball at his feet, but not really somebody who is a progressor of the ball. Zubimendi is more of your... I'm not saying he's a Frenkie de Jong style player, but he kind of is. In fact, no, I am saying he's a Frenkie de Jong style player. He's more like your playmaker from deep. Really good with the ball at his feet. The progressor, the playmaker from deep. That's more what Zubimendi is. But I'll be totally honest. Don't really get your hopes up about Zubimendi. All right? If we're walking away from a deal for Ugarte because we don't want to pay the 60 million euros, we're not going to sign Zubimendi because he's going to be in and around the 50 to 60 million euro mark, in my opinion. Now, let's find out. Of course, he is a player that I think loads of United fans would love, and the quality of Zubimendi is going to be quite a bit higher than the other players that we are getting linked with. And there's going to be people that... I know I've just mentioned De Jong's name there. Can we get pretty much guarantee that in the next 24 hours there's going to be some sort of link between De Jong and United, and that we'll be talking about it in tomorrow's show? I think so. Anyway, let's have a little conversation here around Sander Berge. This is going to be a conversation, I think, that annoys United fans. And that's what, as I said, I wanted United to have the ability to walk away from targets this summer and to have viable alternatives lined up and to get deals done. Now, that might mean that United this summer, as I said, to go back to this, it might mean that because of it really, really annoyed me that I saw people trying to suggest, oh, Man United can spend 300 million this summer. It's really easy. All they got to do is amortize this and put this there and put that there. And it's just like, why are you getting people's hopes up? Why are you doing that? It's not going to happen. Man United have lost money for like 3 out of the last 4 years. We're cutting 20% of our workforce. We're cancelling credit cards. We're cancelling end-of-season trips to Wembley. But no, you think we're going to spend... We were never, ever going to spend that much money. PSR is affecting our ability to spend this summer. It's always been the case, no matter what anybody suggests. Hence why Manchester United may well be possibly looking at more in the midfield department, potential stopgap signings, pretty much. And that's where Sander Berge's name comes in. All right? I'm going to run through the article from The Athletic, and I think maybe I could do a full story on this tomorrow, although I've got something else planned. But this is what Laurie Whitwell's reporting. Berge has emerged as a surprise midfielder on United's list of options, and club officials have made contact with his camp. He was relegated with Burnley last year, but ranked highly in a series of metrics, including dribbles and pressured pass accuracy. We go down here, 6'5". I mean, these are kind of irrelevant. But Sander Berge, right? What's everyone's opinion on Sander Berge? I think I know what the opinions are. Ryan, I suppose it is a little bit of a rant. It's just, it frustrates me. It's misinformation. United were never going to have hundreds of millions to just spend. Oh, no, go and get Ugarte. Oh, no, it's all right. Let's go and get Zubimendi. So we'll get Zubimendi in, we'll get De Ligt in, we'll get Yoro in, we'll go and get Xerxes in, we'll go and get another We never, ever were going to have that much money this summer. And people just pretending that Man United's finances weren't absolutely in the pits are just not looking at the numbers. And it's just frustrating. And it gets United's fans' hopes up. And then they get frustrated when Man United walk away from a deal because it's simply too much. And then Manchester United, like, last season, right? And this, somebody tell me the last signing we made like this, okay? Because this is, I couldn't remember his name when I was doing the video that's coming out at lunchtime today. But when Liverpool signed Endo, right, last summer, Liverpool, didn't they agree like over 100 mil for Caicedo? And everybody was laughing at them because he went to Chelsea for even more. I was laughing at the time. We all were. And then they signed Endo. And everybody was laughing at them for signing Endo. And then as the season progressed, you realise that Liverpool had actually done their research. And Liverpool had actually particularly looked at Endo for a specific set of reasons, and he proved to be one of the best value signings in the whole of last season for Liverpool. And had that been at Manchester United, so many United fans would have turned their nose up and wouldn't have even entertained the idea of Endo. This is Man United, we only sign players from Real Madrid. I don't know why I'm quoting him, but that's what a lot, and we did the same thing with Sadio Mane before, when he was at Southampton and Van Gaal was linked with him. And it's like, what do you want? It's like the same fans that are going to be angry that United aren't walking away from deals where we're paying too much are going to be the same fans who are angry that we might be looking at players that may well not be at that top level, but with the right coaching and environment can be better players. Now, does Sander Berge fall into that category? It's certainly not a name that I would have had on my list, right? But I have more trust in... maybe the trust isn't quite there yet. It's a surprising link. And people trying to compare him to McTominay, I think, is a bit odd. Why are you comparing McTominay to anybody who plays in a deeper role? McTominay is a box-crashing midfielder. His best attributes come in the opposition's half. Sander Berge plays deeper. I think it strikes me, in my opinion, that the way that United are now going this summer, in midfield, we could make one, potentially two signings in the region of 15 to 25 million. And that this summer we're going to be signing more mid-range midfielders to maybe bring some actual squad depth. But ultimately, none of those players may have the quality to be that exact perfect midfielder to complement Manu and Bruno. And that Man United might be pushing that big signing to next summer. That's kind of what it feels like. I don't know. Let's have a look. Let me read some of the comments out down here. Craig, thank you very much, dude, saying keep up the good work. Thank you very much for tuning in, dude. Halftime Oranges, how you doing, man? You're saying rather save and spend big for top targets like Yoro. then overpay for options lower on clubs lists like Ugarte and De Ligt. Short-term pain equals a long-term gain. If United are looking at Sander Berge, it's because we have a limited budget. All right? That's the truth. If Manchester United had the budgets that we should have, because with a club of our revenues and our size, money shouldn't be an issue in the summer. But it is. And it always has been, all summer long. Which is kind of why the Euro deal was a bit of a surprise. But that's the big signing we're going to make. We were never going to pay 60 million euros for Ugarte. Ever. I was hoping that we were going to somehow sneak him on loan. Apparently not. Shabugan saying, I've always been a big fan of Sander Berge since I heard of him for the first time 10 minutes ago. Anybody else remember back in the day when Samuel Luckhurst said that somebody was coming in for a medical at Carrington and he said it was Sander Berge, and it absolutely wasn't Sander Berge. I think it happened in like 2020. And that was when he joined Sheffield United soon after. I'm going to read some of your comments out down here. Why would you buy something second-hand for the same price as it was originally? I'm not really sure what that's got to do with that. V, you're saying very happy not paying 60 mil for a PSG bench warmer. In Ashley and Vavell, I believe they're here to unearth gems like Caicedo to fix our finances. And it's, well, Julian Alvarez, for example. I mean, these are the signings that United have got to be making more of. We have to. Is there somebody in the South American market? Now, there are loads of midfielders that I can list. I'm going to list 6 at lunchtime today, so you can check those out. Amrabat might well be a conversation. It could well be, as I said, that Man United this summer, conceivably, could bring Amrabat back in. It would have to be less than the 20 million euro option that we rejected. So let's call it 15 million euros. And then we signed Sander Berge for, I don't know, 25 million pounds. So Amrabat and Berge for a total of less than 40 million. And then that would be our midfield options for a season before next summer we then go big on that midfield signing. And there will be someone next summer. There is always somebody every year. That could well be what United do. Richard Rios was another name that was linked. You got Andre from Fluminense. You've got Sander Berge now from Burnley. You've got Zubimendi from Real Sociedad, which I think is going to be too much. Mats Vifa was there from Feyenoord, but he went to Brighton. We didn't look at him. And yeah, if you're looking at Sander Berge now, you think, well, Mats Vifa kind of probably would have been better in that sort of role. Yeah, strange. Tyler, you're saying, Sam, it's not always buying big. It's about making the play. But yeah, it's a bit of a balance. It really is a bit of a balance. But if the fee for Ugarte was 60 million euros, walk away. It's the right thing to do. But then don't be annoyed if United might look at some other targets like this. Because clearly, United's money is limited in midfield. And that's why I personally think, just don't get your hopes up about Zubimendi. I would be very surprised, unless the fee for Zubimendi is significantly less than what I think it would be. Because as far as I know, Zubimendi would be in the region of 50 to 60 million euros, which is exactly the price that United didn't want to pay for Ugarte. So why would we go and do it for Zubimendi? Not why would we do it, but we probably wouldn't be able to afford it for Zubimendi. We'll find out. But Sander Berge, according to The Athletic, is a name who's on United's list, and we've had initial talks. So if I go back to the board now, I can get Sander Berge on the board. Active transfers. Right. Let's go down here. Let's bring you... I've updated all the board this morning, so I'll bring all these in one sec. Initial talks have taken place. Let's get that the right colour. And let's go to the boards. So, quite a lot of updates on these boards. Anybody who hasn't been joining in, welcome to United People's TV transfer boards. We're up to 99 names, by the way. So in midfield, you can see there's a lot of new names. You've got Sander Berge, you've got Zubimendi, and there's a couple that I'm going to be discussing in the lunchtime video. You've got Daniel Bolocca, you've got Anton Stack from Hoffenheim, you've got Morten Frendrup from Genoa, you've got Rios there, who's been linked. And again, look at the age profile. Berge, 26 is probably the oldest signing that we'll make this summer, unless we sign Amrabat back. Lots of names on there. If we go to the active board now, you can see that I've updated Berge. So Ugarte, the personal terms were agreed, but the bid never went in. And according to David Ornstein, we're walking away. Josh, you're asking why the early start. I put it in Discord, man. I've got an appointment to go to. So all comms will always be in the Discord. All right. So anybody, I put a big note to everyone in there this morning. Sander Berge, initial talks have taken place. Branthwaite, the bid went in. Everton wanted 70 mil. United walked away. Ugarte, personal terms agreed. PSG wanted 60 mil euros. We walked away. And we know that the De Ligt and the Mazraoui stuff, we're still waiting for that to go in. Well, for us, United to go back with the second bid. Chetan saying, do you think it's better to remove Branthwaite from the movement board? No, we've agreed personal terms with him. Well, we could conceivably go back in for Branthwaite later in the summer. In the same way that we could go back in for Ugarte later this summer. The suggestion here from David Ornstein, you can see this, right? Where is it? There was a little line here. He's saying this. Discussions between United and PSG have cooled, but PSG are relaxed because there's vast interest in Ugarte. Anybody else seen another team linked with Ugarte? Because I haven't really. It could well be that United just play the long game here. Let PSG stew. Okay, go and look elsewhere. See if somebody else wants Ugarte. And later in the window, we could come back in and maybe sign him on loan with an option to buy at the end of the season after they realise that their position of negotiation has been completely weakened. That could well happen. But Sander Berge is an interesting one. Okay? That would very much be, in my opinion, a stopgap signing that brings a bit more quality in midfield, not to the level that I think any of us need or any of us wanted. I'll be honest, midfield's still going to be an issue next season, I think. Centre-back well, I say that, Yoro's bloody injured for 3 months and we've still haven't got anywhere near on De Ligt. Anyway, people keep mentioning Rabiot. I'm not even mentioning Rabiot as a name. I do not care if he's a free transfer. If we sign Rabiot, give it a year or two, and we are going to have Rabiot on our books and on such a high wage that we can't sell him, and it's going to be the latest example of that poor squad building. That Rabiot would be a short-term fix, and we've got to stop them, right? So anybody mentioning Rabiot, it's a waste of time. There's no way that we should logically be going after him. So maybe if United are logical, they'll do that, which I hope not. Right, let's move on because I've got about 10 minutes before I've got to leave. But yeah, Sander Berge is an interesting one. I think lots of people are going to be annoyed at the idea of signing a player of that quality. Oh, this is United. We can't possibly. Oh, looking at Burnley. Oh, looking at the Championship. Oh, disgusting. Are going to be a lot of those same people that go, oh, it'd be nice if United, made some gem signings or signings that nobody expected and they turned out to be great players. Now, I'm not saying that Sander Berge would be that, by the way, because he's an established name. He's 26. It's not like signing somebody who's 21 from, I don't know, a Championship team. It would very much be a stopgap alternative signing. Anyway, the latest on Wan-Bissaka and the sale of Wan-Bissaka is this from The Athletic, okay? And it very much sounds like we are in a Maguire v2 situation, right? Wan-Bissaka's exit holds the key at right back. West Ham have shown a willingness to meet United's price tag and offer him wages within the reach of the club's top earners. But negotiations are on at United to find a financial agreement with the 26-year-old to exit. United wish to add this potential payment to West Ham's transfer fee. So, you remember Maguire last summer? Man United agreed a bid with West Ham, and Maguire said, I'm only leaving if you pay me the rest of the contract because I'm going to have to take a lesser wage at West Ham. And I think that was in the region of somewhere between 7 to 8 million. I don't know, something around about that. And Man United said, no. West Ham said, we're not paying it. Harry Maguire stayed and actually improved a lot last season. But it sounds like the same thing is happening over Wan-Bissaka. He's going to West Ham. The wages are less than what he's earning at United. He's saying, well, if you're selling me, is it? I think I said this last year. Is this just a new thing? It must just be that because players have so much more power and they have better or stronger representation in the agents that they have, that players now that get sold between clubs, if they go to a club that's on lesser wages, they have to get paid out on the contract that they originally had. It must be a new thing, man. I swear it's a new thing in modern football. But anyway, that seems to be the thing that is holding up the Wan-Bissaka move to West Ham, is the difference in wage. He wants to get paid out on that, and United want to add that money, whatever that would be, whether it's an extra mil, an extra 2 mil, no idea. They want to add that on to the fee that West Ham pay. And right now, that's where the negotiations are, right? Peter, you're saying you call BS on PSG's vast interest claims. I think I call BS on that as well. I haven't really seen Ugarte getting linked with anywhere, and certainly not at the 60 mil. Like, PSG are just, quite frankly, just being outrageous, and they are chancing it. They signed him for 60 mil. Wasn't quite the player they thought he was going to be, and now they want. It's like try before you buy. Never mind. Just move him on. It's don't know. It's an odd one. But Wan-Bissaka, it feels like that's what the hold-up is on his potential move to West Ham. Jack, how you doing, buddy? You're saying, I hope you're well. You're saying, this stinks of the same old story. Blew the budget on 2 players and can't sell now. What's different other than not overpaying? I mean, I wouldn't say we blew the budget. Lenny Yoro was probably more than we would have expected to pay. Correct. Joshua Zirkzee was a very fair market value. And we've all known that Man United have needed to sell this summer. There's no, if United's finances are F-U-C-K'd, people. Like, you can get frustrated about it if you want. You can get angry about it if you want. But the Glazers have stripped our club of its cash reserves, have plunged our club into an abomination in terms of the business accounts. And so much has to be fixed. 20% of the workforce has to be cut. I don't even need to explain all this stuff to you again. That's why we need to sell now. And it's been the case. The fact that we can't sell, again, is linked to the past. Casemiro's on 300 odd grand a week as a 32-year-old. Only Saudi clubs can afford him. Man United's finances are screwed, people. I know you might like to think that that's not the case. But it absolutely is. And it's going to be very frustrating this summer. And I don't know how long it's going to take for us to really resolve that. But it's going to take a couple of summers. And next summer, because we've got Varane off the books, Martial off the books, fingers crossed we get Casemiro off the books. And ideally, we get Sancho off the books too. And that's north of £1 million a week saved on wages. But yeah, I'm happy that United are walking away from a 60 million euro bid for deal for Ugarte. That's just ridiculous. I think Zubimendi is going to be too much. Sander Berge doesn't move me. Right? Sander Berge doesn't move me. Do I think Manchester United's midfield options would be better with him in? Yeah, they would. But Man United's midfield options aren't exactly good right now. And Sander Berge would be like a step in the right direction, but only a small step, rather than the big step that we all want this summer. But ultimately, we probably can't afford this summer. As frustrating as it is. That is the truth. Right, last couple of things I want to finish on today, because I've got to scoot for a train. And I'll I don't know, fire in your questions and all that. Lenny Yoro had surgery on his foot yesterday. The Athletic has confirmed it's a fractured metatarsal, and that means that he is now going to be out for 3 months. It is honestly a joke. It really is a joke that a player who's 18, who missed 1 game through injury last season, fractures a metatarsal. That's got nothing to do with overly intense training. Oh, he was only 50%. It's a bloody fractured bone, people. That's just unlucky. I don't even know how he did it. Did he catch his toe in the turf? Did someone stamp on his foot? I think you'd know if someone stamped on his foot. It's just... It's unlucky to the nth degree. It's ridiculous. But now he's going to be missing until, what, October, November time? Don't know. The thing I would say, and I think I said on Twitter yesterday, United, get it right. All right? Martinez fractured his metatarsal, came back too early in the preseason, reoccurred. Had to get more surgery on top of it, and missed the first whole half of the season as a consequence, and then had that freak second injury on top of that. Do not let that happen again with Lenny Yoro. Of course, this increases the importance, unfortunately, of Delict and how much Bayern are going to try and... They're going to try and use that against us. And I've seen that as well. Oh, yeah, Man United signed a £60 million Martial defender. It's like, piss off, you troll. Get something better to do with your life. Anyway, it's just ridiculously unlucky. But fingers crossed he comes back from the surgery and it's all sweet. But to finish, the main talking point from today, I'm very happy that our club is correcting a problem that has existed in every transfer window for the last nigh on a decade. United overpaying all the time and United being weak in terms of player sales. We're still being weak in terms of player sales. We're still suffering from the wages that they are on. And that's going to take time. But I don't want to see United overpay. You might say that United overpaid for Yoro, but I think we probably did, but we took a market risk. We took a gamble on an 18, and it is a gamble, okay? Hands up, it's a gamble. But we took a chance on an 18-year-old that we feel, and we're confident, that in a few years' time, absolutely nobody's going to be talking about how much we pay for Lenny Yoro. He's going to be worth double that. And he's going to be a world-class player for Manchester United. And fingers crossed they get that right. All right? That's what they've done with Lenny Yoro, and that's why it's a little bit different. In my opinion, anyway. Exactly, Brian. I would call Yoro an investment. Manuel Ugarte wouldn't have been an investment. Not at 60 million euros. That would have been signing at somebody who United would consider ready-made to come in and fix a problem in our midfield right now. And United are walking away from it. Might that mean that we end up signing players in terms of the caliber that are maybe a step down from what we expected this summer? Yeah, it may well be the case. But if that then means that United, instead of spending 60 million on a player who might not be the long-term solution, and that we bring in a stopgap, and that we therefore have the money to next summer go out and go big on that midfield signing, I think I'd be fine with that. But in my opinion, and I've always maintained this, Manchester United need 2 central midfielders this summer. And even more so, if the most that we're going to spend on one is going to be around 20, 25 million. And it may well actually benefit United more to spend 20, 25 million on 2 midfielders rather than spending 50, 60 million on 1 midfielder. Just a personal opinion. Akash, I can see you there gifting 5 memberships, dude. Thank you so much. Let's bring out the little mini gong. Last minute of the show, fire in your questions, and I've got to leg it for the train. We need at least 3 seasons to get rid of this mess, says Said. Hey, look, there's a lot that needs to get, but as I said, and I did rant about it a little bit there, it just frustrates me that people have believed information and just believe stuff saying, oh, Man United can spend 300 million. That Man United would never, ever, 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 ever going to be able to spend that much money this summer. It's so abundantly obvious if you look at the numbers properly. We weren't going to do a Chelsea. And if you think that doing a Chelsea is the right thing to do, yeah, good luck running a football club. Because that will blow up in their face spectacularly at some point in the next, hopefully in the next couple of years. That's what I think. Jordan saying, how's the leg? Thank you very much, dude. It's all right. Well, actually, it's not. It's long. It is long. I'm 6 months in, and I still can't walk properly. And it is pissing me off. It is really getting to me. So I'm basically going to have to, I've decided I'm going to have to live like an athlete. Next 3 months, eat clean, no drinking, nothing but gym. I think it's the only way I'm going to be able to get his foot back because it's frustrating. Brian is saying you'd rather squad building than options. I think we need to move Casemiro on, man. Move Casemiro on, please. Right. Look, I'm going to wrap that up for today. Thank you very much for tuning in early. I appreciate all of you. I appreciate Nuruddin so much. Thank you for gifting 50, dude. Akash, thank you for gifting 5 as well. All of you, make sure you join the Discord. I've got a video already recorded. I did it last night. All right. There's going to be a video going out at lunchtime today looking at 6 midfield options. I speak about Zubimendi, speak about Fofana, speak about Amrabat, and 3 different midfield options. And Sander Berge wasn't one of them. But look, I'll probably do a Sander Berge full story at some point later this week. Take it easy, everyone. Please do drop a like on the video. And I'll see you soon.